basic example. So before going with the example, so yesterday like break statement and continue statement was clear with everyone.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So today we'll be looking at one more function that is also called as a range. So basically what a range means is from something to something, like a particular range for like a marks from 0 to 10. So 0 becomes the lower range and 10 becomes the uppermost limit. 0 is the lowermost limit, 10 is the uppermost limit, and whatever is in between that thing is the range of that number. Okay. So in Python, what you can do is for any kind of range is basically sometimes like it can be used in different kind of loops as well, but majority of time you use the range function in for loop. So let's say I have a function as for x in range 1 to 6, or let's say just 6. I'll be discussing this step by step, right? I'll write print x. So what this means is, now this can be, so everyone understand this can change, right? It can be user thing, whatever you want, you can write in instead of x, you can write anything. Now, what this particular code does is that it starts searching with the integer number, and the condition that you have given the Python to search for number is in the range of 6. That is, it will start from 0, or sometimes it can start from 1. You can specify the range in which it has to function. So when you run it, the output that you will get is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
सर
right?
फाइव
I'm sorry.
नहीं सर वही मतलब वो 5 तक ही करेगा ना 0 से लेके
हाँ,
जैसे
हाँ,
स्ट्रिंग में हमने
right.
देखा था ओके
So it will start from 0 and go till 5. So what this 6 basically means is the elements, right? So because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the 6 elements, right? So don't get confused that it will go till 6. Okay. So whatever you have written here, it will go till 1 minus the whatever range you have given, the upper range. Okay. So this is one way in which you have just defined the range. कि मेरे को इतना तक चाहिए. So it will always give you the answer one less than whatever the highest range the user has given it. Sometimes you can predefine it. Let's say from I do 2 to 6. Okay. So what it will do is it will run the code, and then it will give you answer from 2. It will start. So whatever the first condition you give, the first limit that you give, it will consider this one, but it won't consider this one. It will always consider one less than the upper limit. So it will go from 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right. Also, there is a third argument you can give. The third argument is so this basically means so if I want to write it in this way, the syntax of a specific range, I can write it in this way. Let's say range, then you give your lower limit, your upper limit, and then your increment slash decrease, whatever it can be. So this is a basic syntax of how a range functions. So the very first thing that you give is your lower limit of any range that you want. Second is the upper limit, and third can be an increment or the decrement or a decrease thing that you want. So for example, the third thing, if I write here as let's say 2, so and I should increase my increment. Let's say I increase it to 10. Okay. So once I print this, what it will give me is 2468. So it will start from 2, but then it will, the condition that I have given is Python understands that okay, user wants me to print the number from starting from 2 up until less than 1 less than 10, but I have to print only those numbers which are increasing with the interval of 2. So it will first print 2, then it will add 2 to it, so it will print 4, and then again add 2 to it 6, then again add 2 to it, that is 8. But then when it again add 2 to 8, it becomes 10. Now 10 doesn't fall in this range, okay, because this range will only go till 9, it won't go till 10. So it gives you the final output till 8. So the third argument here is basically your increment or decrement, like the in how much increment you want your range to go, or Python to print the output in whatever increment you want. It can be 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, how much you want, right? So this is our basic range functions, right? Is it clear with everyone?
यस
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll be looking at the examples. So let's say we'll start with some basic example of, let's say we have to print an even or odd number that we were like having. So I've just right now I just showed how to print your even and odd number. If it is a user defined, you just have to. So I'll quickly show it again for those of you have entered like afterwards. So you have your input function here, and let's say I write enter number, and then you can give your condition as if a divisible by 2 modulus 2 is equal to 0, then you can print it as even, or else you can print it as odd. So what this basically does is, what I want from you guys is, whenever you face certain questions, like certain logical questions, don't straightforward dive into like just start your PyCharm and start coding. Don't do that. First, understand what the question is asking you to, because in questions, when you dissect the questions in individual lines, you will get what the question wants you to do. So you have those conditions with you itself once you read the questions very specifically. So here the question is, give a number which is user defined, and then find whether it is even or odd. So the way we get, from the very first line, we get our first code, that is, it should be user defined. So I will write input. Now here there is something I have to modify here as well, but I will quickly show it to you with an error. So we will run this code first. It will give us an error, and I'll tell you what the error will be. Now the next question, the next line says that we have to find whether the number given by user is even or odd. So first we have to ask ourselves, what is the logic behind a number being even or a number being odd? And we know that any number which, when divided by 2, if it gives us the remainder 0, then that number is even, otherwise it is odd number. So for that, to find the remainder, we do the modulus thing and we equate it till 0. So if this condition is true, the number is even, otherwise the number is odd. And once we run this particular program, it will ask the user to enter a number, right? Let's say we write a number 10 and you print it. Now what is happening is we are getting an error. The error is not all arguments converted during string formatting. Now what this error basically means is, let me just comment this out here. Now what happens is, if you just going to give a function input, right? And let's say I write print a. So what this means is, Python will not differentiate between your data types, right? Because we are not specifying what kind of data type the user is going to give to Python. So what Python doesn't recognize here is that the type of data that the user is giving. So let's say if I write 2, which is an integer, it will give me an output saying 2. So it doesn't differentiate between an integer, float, or a string. Even if I write a float, let's say I write 100.0, which is a float, it will give me the output as a float. Even if I write a string, okay, let's say I write India and I print it, it will give me India. So this is a particular string, right? So this condition, just the input condition, is something that you can do to allow the user to input any kind of data type, whether be it integer, whether be it your float, whether be it your string. And then you just print that particular value, whatever the user has given. But what's happening here is that once you run this condition, then what happens is, now we know that even and odd can only be with a number, not with a string, right? And what was happening in this condition was, because we were not defining, or we were not giving a proper set of input to Python, saying that the input that the user is giving is integer or a float or a string. So Python doesn't differentiate. So what happens is, if I run this, then there is a chance that Python considers your number as a string also. That's why it gives an error saying that not every integer can be converted into a string. So in that case, what you have to do is, you have to specifically specify that the number given by the user will be an integer number, right? And then you can run your code. And once you print it, let's say enter a number, I write 100, and it says it is even, right? So it takes the first input from the user, that is, it is an integer number. We have given an integer number 100, then it runs this particular first code. So it says that, okay, 100 divisible by 2, the remainder is 0. That means this condition is true, and we get as an even. Let's say we take an odd number here. Let's say we write 19, and it gives us an odd, because this condition is not true in case of 19. So 19 divisible by 2 doesn't give us a remainder 0. So that's why this condition is not true. It will skip this loop and go into the odd loop. Is this clear with everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So we'll also now look at another example, whereby, let's say we have a tuple which consists of a set of numbers. Okay, let's say we have a tuple A. So how should I start my tuple?
Parenthesis.
Right. So I'll start with the parenthesis and I'll store some numbers. Okay, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Let's say I have this as my number stored in my tuple. Okay. Now what I want you guys to give me an answer is, I want my program to run in such a way that the output that I will give, the output that I want from Python is, it should give me how many even numbers are there in this tuple and how many odd numbers are there. So how do you think we should run it? Basic idea, like basic logic, what you can come up with.
So first we take A mod is equal to 2.
Mhm.
So if it's divisible by 2, then it will be even,
Mhm.
or else it's odd.
Right. So, but that is true when you are going to find for a specific number, right?
Okay.
But what I want is I want my Python program to do those mathematical operation, and it will calculate in this tuple. So this tuple consists of these numbers from 1 to 9. What I want my Python program is to run that particular program in this tuple to calculate whether numbers are even or not, and then give me a final output saying that in this particular tuple, this much number is odd and this much numbers are even. How would I do that?
So for number, I think you're supposed to write count, like the
Right?
of this is the
Mm-hmm.
number of even
Mm-hmm.
numbers present.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. I mean, apart from that, I don't remember much. But
Okay, okay. So your first step was pretty good. So that's what we do. Basically, what happens is it can be any other word as well. But generally, what happens because we are running a mathematical operation here, so we start with a count C. Okay, because sometimes what happens is when you are running any Python programmer, there is something called as a universality. That is universally people use those things only, right, as a number. So you have to be quite universal with your programmings as well. That is a general view that everyone is like doing right now. So you have to be bit consistent with those as well. But it's up to you. You can use any number, right? So we want to run a program which will first go through all of these numbers and individually check whether these numbers are odd or even, and then give us a final output saying this much number is even or this much numbers are odd. Okay. So as I said, we will start with what we do as a count. So let's say we have a count of even number and we have a count of odd numbers, right? Now initially the count will be 0, right, because we haven't started a program. So initially the even and odd count will be both 0. ठीक है, अभी तक हमने प्रोग्राम चालू नहीं किया है, तो जो भी इवन एंड ऑड रहेगा विल बी 0. ठीक है, अभी अभी स्टार्टिंग प्रोग्राम में number of even numbers are 0 and number of odds are also 0. Now here we will define our codes. So what kind of loop you think we should use?
For loop.
Right. Why? Because we want our program to run in such a way that it will automatically go through every particular element in this tuple. Okay. So for that, what we'll write is we'll write for, I'm using X, you can use anything. So I'll write for X in A, right? That means it can be anything. You can write number in A or whatever it is that you want. So this is my condition. Now I'll give if my number, that is X, because now I want my individual element. So I will be calling my individual element from this tuple in the form of X. So I want my X to be to give me a, when divided by 2, it should give me a remainder as 0. So I'll write if X modulus 2 is equal to 0. Now it becomes even number. So what I'll do is I have to update the count also. So what I'll write, count underscore even plus equals to 1. And it will add the count, it will update the count saying that okay, one number we have calculated and now it is even, so it will update the count. Then what we can do is, if this is not true, so what it will do is else it will increase the odd count. So count underscore odd will now become plus equals to 1. So if this condition is not true, increase the odd count. If this condition is not true, increase the even count, right? And then you can finally write a print statement saying print even count is, and then you can write here as count underscore even, and similarly you can write an odd count as well. So odd count is, and you can write here as count underscore odd, and when you run it, it gives you even count is 4, odd count is 5. So what it's doing here is, first it's saving the tuple in the form of A. Then we have initialized our counts for even as well as odd, and we have initialized it to 0 because now the program is starting. Now it will access each element of the tuple one by one. So it will first access 1. So for 1 in A, if 1 is divisible by 2, if 1 modulus 2 equals to 0, so this condition is not true. So it will go into else condition. Just a second. So it will go into the else condition and it will add the count into odd one. So it will count the odd, it increases the odd one. Then again it will go into this one. Now it accesses the second element. If 2 in A, so 2 modulus 2 is equal to 0, this is true, then it will increase the even count. And similarly, if we keep on repeating till 9, and then finally whatever the value or up until 9, whatever the value of count even and count odd has been updated, that will be printed here. Is this clear with everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So basically what happens, you can use any word here. It's not necessary, it need not be count only. It can be anything, ABC, XYZ, whatever you want. It's just that whenever you're using any mathematical function whereby you want something to keep updating itself, you basically use a word count. And this count can be used in any kind of mathematical related operation that you want. Right? So that is a basic universality that I was talking about. So people around the globe, they usually use a word as count, and it's really common. So you can use in any kind of, even when you're running any algorithm, you will find people using count to update the algorithm itself, to update the steps of the algorithm. Okay, so this is our very basic thing you can print. Now we will be running another example whereby what I want to do is I have a range of number, let's say from 1500 to 2700. Okay, and what I want is I want my Python program to give me only those number or list of those numbers that are divisible by 7 and those who are multiple of 5 in between that range, like in between 1500 and 2700. So I want my Python program to give me only those numbers which are divisible by 7 as well as multiple of 5, including 1500 as well as 2700. So how do you think we can do that?
So can you repeat the question?
Sure. So what I want is, let's say we have a range of number. हमारे पास एक range है 1500 से लेके 2700, ठीक है? मैं चाहता हूँ कि एक ऐसा प्रोग्राम हमें लिखना है जो ये कैलकुलेट करेगा कि इस रेंज के अंदर वो कौन से नंबर हैं जो 7 से भी डिविजिबल है एंड एट द सेम टाइम 5 के मल्टीपल भी हैं, एंड आई वांट माय प्रोग्राम टू गिव मी ओनली दोज नंबर्स जो 7 के मल्टीपल भी, जो 7 से डिविजिबल है एंड 5 के मल्टीपल, जिसमें 1500 एंड 2700 दोनों इंक्लूडेड होंगे। उस रेंज में 1500 2700 दोनों इंक्लूडेड है। तो आई जस्ट वांट अ बेसिक लॉजिक, लाइक व्हाट डू यू गाइस थिंक
So जो रेंज हम स्पेसिफाई करेंगे उसमें 7 से डिविजिबल होना चाहिए कि मतलब a वेरिएबल है तो a mod 7 is equal to 0 एंड मल्टीपल ऑफ 5 होना चाहिए तो वो बेसिकली डिविजिबल बाय मतलब वो उसमें रिमाइंडर 5 आना चाहिए मतलब।
अच्छा, 5 का अगर मल्टीपल होगा तो इज इट नेसेसरी कि रिमाइंडर 5 ही है हमेशा?
नहीं, 0 भी आ सकता है।
0 भी आ सकता है,
मतलब लास्ट डिजिट उसका 5 या 0 होना चाहिए ना।
एनीथिंग लाइक अगर वो उस पर्टिकुलर, अगर एक पर्टिकुलर नंबर 5 का मल्टीपल है देन ऑब्वियसली इट इज डिविजिबल बाय 5, तभी वो उस 5 का मल्टीपल है, राइट?
क्वेश्चन 5 आना चाहिए।
नहीं, सी if I say is 65 multiple of 5 or not?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So how can we say? दो तरीका है, या तो उसका यूनिट प्लेस 5 है 65 का, ठीक है, या तो यूनिट प्लेस 5 and 0 होगा, then we can say okay ये 5 का मल्टीपल हो सकता है। Otherwise you can just divide 65 with 5 and you see the remainder is 0. That means कि वो divisible है 5 से, and मतलब 5 से अगर divisible है तो obviously वो 5 का मल्टीपल भी है, right?
Yes, so then, and after you define probably for you can give an if statement saying only and only if it is divisible, then I want my numbers printed, else don't print.
Right.
So for that we can use an if and else loop, and for the formula, like you said, we will have to use divisible by 5 and divisible by 7.
Right. Now there are overview, like overall, if I can say that overall you guys are getting the basic gist or the basic logic behind how to target these questions. The only thing remaining will be how to like construct your whole like code together, put together. Okay. So what we can do is let me just do it in another way. What I will do is I will create let's say list, and it's an empty list, right? Now the reason why we create an empty list is basically I want to store everything that I want in this particular list, right? So what I do is I start creating a list जो starting में empty रहेगा, and just like in a previous example we were updating our count, in the similar way we will be updating our list as well, once our program is going through the numbers between 1500 and 2700, those numbers which fulfill both the conditions of 7 as well as 5, those numbers will automatically be updated in this list, and the output that we will get will be a list which has only those numbers which are divisible by 7 and at the same time multiple of 5 also, right? So for that, what I'm doing is I'm just creating a basic empty list initially. Now what I can do is I'll write my for loop, because for x in a range, because here I have to find a range because I have a range. So I'll start with the for loop, and this x can be anything, whatever user defined. I'll start. Now the question is 1500 and 2700 both should be included, right? So I'll start with 1500, but what should I write here?
2701.
Right. So we'll write 2701 because we also have to count 27, right? तो अगर यहाँ पे अगर हम 2700 लेंगे तो वो 2699 तक ही count कर पाएगा. So we'll write 2701, right? So the program will count till 2700. Now we can run our loop saying that if x modulus 7, if x modulus 7 is equal to 0 and x modulus 5 is equal to 0. Now we are using AND because what the output that we want, the number that we want in the output should be specifying both of the conditions, right? It should be true in both the conditions. It should also be divisible by 7 as well as it should be a multiple of 5. That's why we are using AND here. Now what we'll write, I'll use a function which is known as an append function. Now what append does is n dot append. What append basically means is to add something, right? And the first element, the first thing that you have written before append is the thing in which you want to add something, right? So now we have created an empty list, and what I wanted was when this program will run, whatever the output that we get, whatever the number will be, it will automatically get updated in this particular list. So that's why I have to add the values in this list, and I will be calling this list by the name of n. So that's why I've written n dot append. So append basically adds something to this already defined empty list. Or it doesn't need to be an empty list, it can be anything. So n dot append. Now what it will append? It will append string x. Now why string x? So keep this thing in mind. String x is basically, अब हमने क्या किया है, इस रेंज में हमने x कैलकुलेट किया, राइट? सो व्हाट x is basically, first it will take 1500. The first value of x will be 1500. It will run this condition. It will see whether this number is satisfying these conditions or not. If not, it will not run this particular loop. Let's say it takes a number which is actually both divisible by 7 as well as a multiple of 5. Then it will append that particular value in this n list. But here we have written string because the number that we are calling out, the numbers from this particular range, we are calling out, it is actually stored in the value x, right? For example, when this particular first condition will run, let's say कि हमारा program एक number लेता है 1510 suppose, तो वो 1510 ऐसे नहीं लेगा, वो 1510 जो उसने वैल्यू लिया है उसको पहले किसी चीज में स्टोर करेगा, राइट? वो किस में स्टोर कर रहा है उसको? वो बेसिकली उसको x में स्टोर कर रहा है, क्योंकि हम इस रेंज में से जिन वैल्यूज को उठा रहे हैं वो x के फॉर्म में उठा रहे हैं, इसलिए हमने लिखा है कि फॉर x इन द रेंज ऑफ दिस वन, राइट? सो इसीलिए हमको यहाँ पे स्ट्रिंग लिखना पड़ेगा बिकॉज x इज बेसिकली अ कैरेक्टर, राइट? सो दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव टू स्पेसिफाई इट एज अ स्ट्रिंग. हम डायरेक्ट x लिखते हैं, अगर सिर्फ x लिखते हैं तो वो एरर शो करेगा अपने को. So we write string of x and then append it. किस में append करना है? जो हमारा empty list है, that is n. तो n में उसने उसको append कर दिया. And then finally we'll break out of this loop and we'll write print. Now let's say कि I want the numbers to be separated by a comma. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll write a comma. कि वो जो भी numbers होगा उसके बाद एक comma print होगा. And sometimes this thing is also known as a delimiter. Okay, these words are basically used in when you, if you will be studying machine learning, वहाँ पे basically delimiter इसको हम बोलते हैं commas को, which is something that divides two things, a two column or two rows or even two numbers. It is separated by a comma, right? So that's why it is known as a delimiter. So we want कि जो हमारा output में result आएगा, जो भी numbers आएंगे, it should be separated by a comma, and then we'll write another function which is known as dot join. But what will it join? It will basically join क्या? जो हमारा list है, जो हमारे list में जो numbers हो रहे हैं उन नंबर्स वो किससे ज्वाइन करेगा, इस कॉमा से, लाइक व्हेन द फर्स्ट नंबर विल बी रन, जो हमारा पहला नंबर इसमें से हमको मिलेगा वो उसको एज इट इज स्टोर करेगा, एंड देन द सेकंड नंबर, जो सेकंड नंबर उसको मिलेगा पहले वो कॉमा लगाएगा, एंड देन उसके बाद उस सेकंड नंबर को वो ज्वाइन करेगा हमारे ऑलरेडी अपडेटेड लिस्ट में, राइट. सो वी विल राइट डॉट ज्वाइन एंड देन विल राइट n, जो हमारा लिस्ट है, and then we'll run it. So you will get a list 1505, the first number is 1505, then 1540, 1575, 1610, in this way you will get all the number till 2700, जो हमारा final range था, right? Should I explain this again?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what we did was our question was write a program to find those numbers which are divisible by 7 as well as multiple of 5 in the range 1500 to 2700, both the numbers included. ठीक है, तो हमने क्या किया, क्वेश्चंस को एक एक करके डाइसेक्ट करते हैं पहले. तो फर्स्ट वी नो कि हमें एक ऐसा नंबर ढूंढना है जो 7 का ये 7 से डिविजिबल भी होना चाहिए एंड 5 का मल्टीपल भी होना चाहिए. सो फॉर दैट वी हैव अ कंडीशन हियर कि अगर वो 7 से डिविजिबल है, सो दिस कंडीशन शुड बी देयर, एंड अगर 5 का मल्टीपल है तो दिस कंडीशन शुड बी देयर. नाउ वी आर ओके विद दिस थिंग्स. ओके, हमको ये तो चीज हमको मिल गया. सेकंड हमें क्या बोला है कि इट शुड बी इन द रेंज ऑफ 1500 टू 2700, तो हमने उसके लिए एक रेंज फंक्शन भी डिफाइन कर दिया, एंड क्योंकि हम रेंज फंक्शन डिफाइन कर रहे हैं तो वी आर क्लियर कि क्योंकि हमने रेंज फंक्शन डिफाइन किया है तो वी विल बी यूजिंग अ फॉर लूप, क्योंकि मेजॉरिटी टाइम्स रेंज फंक्शन फॉर लूप के साथ यूज होता है. सो वी आर क्लियर विद दैट एज वेल. नाउ थर्ड कंडीशन वाज कि बोथ द नंबर्स आर इंक्लूडेड, सो दैट्स व्हाई हमने 1500 तो वैसे ही लिया, बट देन जो हमारा अपर लिमिट था उसमें हमने 2701 कर दिया, बिकॉज वी ऑल नो कि जो अपर लिमिट है उससे हमेशा एक कम वो लेके चलता है जो हमारा रेंज फंक्शन है. सो दैट्स व्हाई व्हाट वी डिड वाज 2701. नाउ अब हमें क्या करना है कि हमें चाहिए कि वो नंबर्स हमको एज इट इज प्रिंट आउट करें, सीधा सीधा मिल जाए. तो उसके लिए व्हाट आई हैव अपडेटेड हियर इज कि मैंने एक एम्प्टी लिस्ट क्रिएट किया. हमको एक लिस्ट चाहिए जिस लिस्ट में वो सारे नंबर्स हमारे स्टोर होंगे जो भी हमको आउटपुट में हमें रिजल्ट मिल रहा है. तो उसके लिए मैंने सबसे पहले क्या किया, एक एम्प्टी लिस्ट क्रिएट किया और उसको एक वेरिएबल को असाइन कर दिया n करके. फिर मैंने अपना पहला स्टेटमेंट रन किया कि फॉर x इन रेंज दिस वन. नाउ कीप दिस थिंग इन माइंड, x बेसिकली करेगा क्या, x जो है वो इस रेंज में से एक एक नंबर को उठाएगा. सो व्हेन दिस लूप विल बी रनिंग, फॉर एग्जांपल द फर्स्ट नंबर विल बी 1500, सो दैट 1500 विल बी स्टोर्ड एज अ वैल्यू ऑफ x. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव रिटन x. इसलिए हम लोग यहाँ पे हर जगह x को यूज कर रहे हैं कि x शुड बी डिविजिबल बाय 7 और x शुड बी डिविजिबल बाय 5. हम इंडिविजुअल नंबर यहाँ पे नहीं डाल रहे हैं बिकॉज दोज नंबर्स विल बी स्टोर्ड इन द वैल्यू ऑफ x, एंड हम चाहते हैं कि जो भी नंबर अपडेटेड वैल्यू जो x स्टोर कर रहा है वो इस कंडीशन को सेटिस्फाई